Hola, welcome to another soundtrack for today. Kenneth B. Inch here, back with a part two. So yesterday we did Weldon Irvin's Morning Sunrise, and I mentioned in that video that Lenny White, who is also a jazz fusion drummer, put out a version as well with the band that he had called 29. And this was on the 1979 album, and it is also Morning Sunrise. So I was just curious to see who did it best. So without further ado, let's put the needle on the track.
Morning sunrise. Hello morning, you look good. Good to me. Kiss in the sky, I can feel it move me. But on our own we will share this morning. Kiss the sunrise with my eyes. So it's a morning sunrise. Morning sunrise. Morning sunrise. If I ever hear you say flowers will bloom in the spring. It seems like everything nature will bring will be so. Life will go on, so they say, and it will bring on another day. For it's a morning sunrise. Morning sunrise. Morning sunrise. Beautiful morning sunrise. If I ever heard you yes, it is. Morning sunrise.
Damn, I like that version too. So that version is interesting. So let's kind of talk about some of the differences that I noticed. And in all honesty, I think both versions can work. So with the 29 featuring Lenny White version, is less heavy than the original version by Weldon. That one, so this one is definitely a lot more lighter in sound with the instrumentals. So it floats a little bit more than the other one. That could be for advancements in technology. That could be just kind of what he wanted to do, just to kind of make it a little bit brighter than the original version. When Lenny and the group kind of put together the instrumentation for that. I do think it is because of that, I do think it is a bit more polished than the original version. I sort of like the rawness of the original version. This one is very clean and more smooth out. But in addition to that, what they also did that I heard was, they added like after the first verse, when he's getting ready to wrap up the first verse, he added more harmonies towards the end, a little bit more texture towards the end of that going into the chorus. So I thought that that was really really dope and a nice little change up. And I think they changed the chorus up as well a little bit. I think for the most part the harmonies are still intact, but they added a run at the end of the chorus compared to the first one, and I think that that worked as well. And they also added a little bit more background vocal support in spots too. So it gave it enough of a difference without fully altering the songs. It was just enough to make it theirs. Because I think the song itself works fine, but how do you make this your own identity? And I think they managed to accomplish that. The thing about this was 1979, is that being very familiar with where music sort of went with the 80s, where it sort of became a little bit more electronic, so to speak, because of the different instruments that were being created, advancements in technology. This definitely felt like something that was on the verge of making it that transition, like the year before we went into the 80s, where everything started to kind of shift. So we were on the cusp of it with this one. But overall, I think that it worked. I think that they just did more vocally than Weldon did. But I think I like the OG version better, Weldon Irvin's version a little bit better. It feels a little bit more authentic to me. But I really do like this. Like I could easily see this album in my dad's collection. Easy, easy. And I could easily see him playing this song as well, because I think for that particular time with how music was and where music was, it really, really works. So shout out to Shelton J for sending this over. And I got to hear two different versions of the same song. And I do like them both. And I'm glad I went ahead and made this also our soundtrack for today.